To celebrate State Farm's surprisingly great rates, we gave this song surprisingly great lyrics.
Hey neighbors, when your claims get hard to file, State Farm's got the switch it up style. Great rates save you cash, so if you come join us, you'll get your coins up. Oh, now you know you can save that dough, and you're covered on your ride and your home. For great service on the low, then call up State Farm. It's time to switch it up.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your home is going into foreclosure and you feel like a financial wreck. You don't know where to turn for accurate information. I'm bankruptcy attorney Travis Gagne. Let's talk about some legal options. If we work quickly, we can propose a plan to save your home, modify the loan, or in many cases even eliminate your second mortgage. The consultation is free. I've helped hundreds of people just like you make informed decisions about whether to save their home or exit it on a reasonable, organized timeline. The chapter you choose sets the tone for the next chapter of your life. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. Yeah, we were just awarded an NHL expansion team, in case you didn't hear. It's pretty awesome. And we're celebrating here at The Rock. We are loving the idea that hockey is coming, and you can get your own KISW hockey jersey now. That's right. These jerseys are customizable, too. They look sweet. Black, red, yellow, just the way The Rock looks. You get your name, your number, anything you want in your back. Name of your choice, number of your choice. You want these Rock jerseys, you know where to go. KISW.com.
Let's play B-Migs.
It's time to play the game. So everybody scream his name. B-Migs, don't be a loser. Whoa. B-Migs, you're a loser.
It is time to beat Migs. It is time to turn down for tacos.
Turn down for what?
That's right, it's Tuesday.
Yeah, beautiful sunny day. Go out there and, don't go outside and eat your tacos because it's freezing out there. Unless you lay yourself and then get a double-decker taco, which is a layer taco as well.
Can we just tell people to get tacos?
Yeah, I guess
I map out
yeah.
their entire life for them over here.
Well, I'm just giving some handy suggestions for your tacos.
Are you really, though? Yeah. Or are you just losing yourself in your own stream of unconsciousness?
I'm trying to remember the last time Rev didn't have an internal debate with himself over the radio.
Yeah.
I can't remember the last time you just haven't contradicted yourself or questioned your own things that you said.
Do I do that all the time? I don't think I do that all the time.
Every day. I think you just did it right now, as a matter of fact.
Well, maybe New Year, New Me, and I'll stop doing that.
No.
Yeah, maybe not. Yeah, probably not. There you go, man.
Why change you? You do you, brother.
Oh, thank you. Let's get to our contestant today. We've got Omri in Seattle. Omri, are you there?
I am. How's it going, fellas?
Hey, Omri. Well. What's he playing for today, Steve?
Tickets to see Cage Sport MMA. That's happening at the Emerald Queen Casino on Saturday, February 9th. D. Ted Smith will be there as well. Go to KISW.com for all the details. If you want to check out Cage Sport MMA, get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
All right, Steve, get out of here. For those playing at home, Omri will have 60 seconds to answer 10 questions. Omri, you can pass all you want, but you'll only get 3 guesses per question. Are you ready?
Set, Rev.
Which animal has the longest pregnancy at over a year and a half?
Elephant.
Yes. Sudan and Chad are countries in which continent?
Africa.
Yes. What is the top layer of the Earth known as?
Atmosphere.
No.
Crust.
Yes. Glenn Fry and Don Henley were members of which well-known band?
The Eagles.
Yes. Approximately how many minutes does it take the sun's light to reach the Earth?
4.
No.
20.
No.
3.
No. Which non-coastal western U.S. state has a seagull as its official state bird?
Idaho.
No.
Nevada.
No.
New Mexico.
No. What type of plant is a saguaro?
I'm sorry, one more time?
What type of plant is a saguaro?
Pass.
Who was the Roman god of love?
Eros.
No. 1, 2, 3, 4, correct.
Oh, it started off so good.
Started off great,
Yeah.
fell off there, and you got to hope that Steve does the exact same thing.
Well, we'll see.
We will see.
Yeah. Steve sometimes pulls them out.
He does, and that's always the most frustrating for the listener.
It really is frustrating for me, too.
Yep, because you never get that loser song there.
Man, it's been a while since I've had one.
We had one last week, I think.
Oh, really?
At least one.
Okay.
Yeah. Last week was a long time ago. Steve, are you ready?
Yes.
You see, I don't even have to fight with him. If I let him
just
go,
let him go.
He'll fight with himself.
Yeah, he'll insult himself.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Yep, he'll yell at himself. We never give him the opportunity to really just lose his mind on himself.
Yeah, I think that's going to be my new strategy in 2019. I'll just go and then stop.
Oh, great. Which animal has the longest pregnancy at over a year and a half?
Pig.
No.
Elephant.
Yes. Sudan and Chad are countries on which continent?
Africa?
Yes. What is the top layer of the earth known as?
The crust.
Yes. Glenn Fry and Don Henley were members of which
Eagles.
well-known band? Yes. Approximately how many minutes does it take the sun's light to reach the earth?
10.
No.
100.
No.
60.
No. Which non-coastal western U.S. state has a seagull as its official state bird?
California.
No.
New Mexico.
No.
Oregon.
No. What type of plant is a saguaro?
What kind of plant? I'm going to say it's a wet plant.
No.
A green plant?
No.
A hot plant.
No.
Yeah.
Who was the Roman god of love?
It's not R. Kelly.
Oh, jeez, no.
Aphrodite.
No.
Pocahontas.
No, Pocahontas is apparently a politician.
Oh, jeez. Steve, you got 4 correct, which is great for Omri because he got 4 correct as well. It's a tie.
And he hung up, unfortunately.
Well, I got
Pandora. That's what I meant.
A what? Pandora?
Pandora's the box person.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
had
that
the
means
box.
she's all love, right?
No, she's about chaos. You open her box and it's over.
Yeah.
I don't love.
No,
that's a different whole thing you were
Steve.
thinking of. Okay.
Stop looking at Pornhub there.
Yeah.
Does anybody know the Roman god of love?
Vicky knows this. Oh, you don't?
Oh, it starts
Is
with
it
A.
Adonis?
No, it is
Aries?
not. No,
No.
you need to think of maybe Valentine's Day.
Oh, it's Cupid?
It's
Yeah.
Cupid,
Freaking
yes.
Roman and Greek,
the
getting all
Roman and
confused.
Greek are the differences.
Good job, buddy.
Yeah. The type of plant that is a saguaro, Danny?
Danny knows
Cactus.
this.
I was
It's a
gonna say,
cactus.
It's got to be
Yeah.
a cactus.
Why did I just guess that?
It
I don't
sounds-
know.
Sounds like a Hispanic name.
When somebody says you pronounced it wrong, that's probably why.
No, I looked it up. There's
no hard G.
There's 2 different pronunciations. I checked. Texter, you can go F yourself.
Why are we fighting? We can just ask our expert, Victoria.
I've never heard of that plant. How'd you say it?
Saguaro.
Saguaro. Yeah, I think that's about accurate.
And
White guy
This
saying
person
it.
says it's saguaro.
It can be. There's 2 different pronunciations.
Saguaro.
I like that Vicky doesn't know because she doesn't know
I've
I don't know
never
how to
heard
say
it.
that word.
I mean, I've never heard it before.
Wow, get out. You're not a Mexican.
I'm also American.
How many minutes does it take the sun's light to reach the earth? Approximately how many minutes?
That's probably pretty quick.
It's 10, isn't it?
It is 8.
No.
8 minutes.
8 minutes.
Just
Oh.
a little bit over that, yeah.
Uncle Chris knew that.
I'm sure he did. And then the non-coastal western U.S. state that has the seagull.
Well, we got some bad news because Oregon apparently is no longer a coastal state.
Or California.
Steve took them both
I thought
away.
you said coastal.
I said non-coastal.
I missed that. Cut me some slack.
Oh, all right.
Granted, New Mexico isn't on the coast.
Yeah.
I know.
I just did that in honor of Danny V.
Oh, good job, buddy.
I'm sure. Does anybody have a guess?
I would guess, but I don't know.
Okay, fine. Utah.
Utah?
Yeah.
Maybe because, I don't know why. Maybe they got a lot of seagulls there still. Maybe the lakes. I don't know.
Nah, I have no idea. I've looked
It's
it
all
up.
the saguaros they have there.
Yeah,
Okay,
that too.
Yeah, I think saguaro, so
You say saguaro. Vicky says, I don't know.
congratulations to Omri for tying Steve.
Yeah, if you tie or beat Steve, that's how you get a prize on Beat Mig. So tying is not a bad thing. Okay, so Marilyn Monroe, I guess people are still infatuated with her.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you not see every chick on social media still quoting her?
Yeah.
Which I always think is funny.
I mean, look, she had an amazing career, no doubt about it. And back before social media, back before all the stuff we had, where we just basically had very little entertainment compared to today, she was huge. Of course, also involved in a political controversy with a sitting president. All of that. So, as well as a relationship with a big time baseball player, because baseball was the sport back then.
Joe DiMaggio, right?
Yeah. And
He was like the Jeter back then.
Oh, yeah. He was, and really
Or
even...
A-Rod even.
Yeah, I'm even going to put him higher than that because I don't know if Jeter and A-Rod have ever had the kind of record that he has. He still has the record for the most consecutive games to have a base hit in, which...
Oh, they were going to talk about record as far as hot chicks that he was slaying.
Yeah, so, Joe DiMaggio, as good as those guys were, but, in his time was just... he was just, I think it was a 56-game hitting streak, 54, 56-game hitting streak. Nobody... I don't know how many people have even come close. I don't even know if anybody's gotten into the 50s at all, but that's an amazing feat. And of course, he was a gigantic star because he played for the Yankees, the biggest city with the biggest sport team at the time. She was the biggest movie star and just a bombshell, for those days. So, yeah.
Even nowadays, I'm looking at pictures of her. She would still be, I think, a lust woman for many people. Which is kind of funny because things have changed. People's looks and styles have changed over the years, but she still has that look.
Yeah, she's in the middle. She's not too skinny and she's not too curvy. She's just right in the middle. Some people who really think...
Nice lips, too.
Some people might think from a model standpoint, like, when people really wanted to be super thin, she might be a little heavier for what people might want, by those standards of, say, 10 years ago. But right now, yeah, Steve, right now, I no doubt about it, she would be just as bombshelly as she was then.
She died at 36. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I thought she was older.
Yeah. Yeah, so she, and even now, people still want stuff to be reminded of her. Someone is willing to pay over $16,000 for a 60-year-old clump of her hair.
Ugh.
Yeah, that's in 16.5. That's the asking price for 35 strands.
I understand that you could say that about a lot of things you collect, but I feel like the minute you showed it this one, look, I spent $16,000 on this lock of hair. I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna see myself out because you seem like a serial killer.
But you know what?
Creepy,
but at the same time, I do understand, like, that actually is the one thing. You have pictures, you have this, you go, this actually was part of her, which it's weird that hair survives like that.
But would you save her finger?
Or her teeth? Her teeth are going to, last.
Yeah. An eyeball?
Well, no, me, myself, I wouldn't
got
save
Marilyn
it.
Monroe's eye.
Nail clippings.
Yeah.
Hey, I was a kid.
Yeah, Steve.
And I wasn't collecting other people's.
Yeah.
Just my own.
I wasn't referring to you, but I like that you went there, Steve. Thank you.
I find it macabre, but I do understand how somebody could be like, that actually came from her. Like some people do that with their little kids. Like, parents will cut their baby's hair.
Their kid. I get that.
I still think that's creepy when they go, hey,
but it's a memory of, like, they can look back and be like, this is the very first clipping of a haircut of our kid. I understand that. This is just some random woman that you never met and you just spent $16,000 for a piece of her hair.
Well, she is Marilyn Monroe. It wouldn't be like, it was Alice McGillicuddy. I suppose I could see what you say. Who's that? Well, some lady that grew up in the 40s. I got her hair. I don't know who the hell she is.
My mom does have a piece of my hair, but it's taped into an album from when I was my first haircut.
Your mom's not the only one who has a piece of your hair. Yeah. So Kenneth Battelle, he was Marilyn's hairdresser back in the 50s and early 60s. He's the one that, he had a collection of a lot of hair, and he's asking about 35. He's asking this $16,500 for these strands of her hair. Comes in a glass frame, also with a framed photo of Marilyn.
Oh, wow.
It's dated June 14th, 1959. So that's 60 years ago on the dot. Well, close on the dot of when the hair was cut. Yeah, and he made a bunch of these and gave them out as gifts to his friends. So, Steve, if you're this guy's friend and he just gives you a frame of somebody who's a famous person, go, and that's their hair from the haircut, right. you're gonna be like, yeah?
No.
Nobody. There's nobody's hair like, what if it was Randy Savage's hair?
No.
Wouldn't want it?
Maybe Dr. Phil's pubes, maybe, but that's about it. No, I don't want anyone's hair. What am I going to do with Randy Savage's hair? Hey, check it out, guys.
You wear it.
I'm going to stroke it?
Well, if you have enough to make it into a wig, I'd say wear it.
That's even creepier. Hey, check it out. This wig, it's from actually Randy Savage's head.
Well, a lot
that
of
actually could be really cool. Like if you could have his beard, make a beard out of his hair like he had.
When I've had extensions in, a lot of those extensions or fancy wigs are made out of real human hair because they're able to last, the curling and straightening and dyeing.
But the reason why you have them is for aesthetic reasons. It's not like you're collecting somebody's hair.
But if you're able to collect Randy Savage's hair and make a wig out of it, it's a win-win, right?
What am I going to attach it to?
I forgot.
No, you put a wig on. on. Just do a wig.
Vicky's got a very good point. Now, Vicky, that is interesting. What if people were doing that? Like famous people were selling their hair that way that you could put as extensions in, because that, like, say, hey, look, what are you wearing? I'm wearing a Louis Vuitton. Oh, I'm wearing a Scarlett Johansson. What? Oh, her hair. I mean, it's because, you're right, Vicky. I forgot it is human hair that women use as extensions, which I do think is a little creepy. I don't know why. I think it's creepy that it's somebody else's hair that you put on your head.
Before they made the synthetic wigs, women would grow their hair out really long, and then they'd sell it if they needed money or if they wanted their hair short or whatever, and make a lot of money that way. And they would make wigs back then with real human hair. Now it's a really expensive process, and there's plenty of alternative plastic ones.
If they were selling like hair extensions that were just regular hair extensions, let's just say for like, I don't know, $40.
Yeah, they're about $100, $150.
Right. So they're $150, but then for $300 you could get Scarlett Johansson hair extensions.
For an extra $150, why not?
See? How much for Dr. Phil's pubes, though?
Yeah, Steve,
those are priceless. Whatever he wants.
Steve, would you do that? You drop them and go, oh, by the way, I want to tell you something right now. It's the first time we've been together. These are Dr. Phil's. It's like you get status.
I'd rather buy his mustache and then turn it into a merkin.
Somebody said, Steve, what about Complete Skullet from the Hulkster?
Ooh,
no.
Steve.
No.
Come on.
No.
Take your vitamins, brother.
I don't need his hair, brother. There's nobody's hair that I want. I don't even know why we're having this conversation.
There's nobody's hair. Nobody at all. There's nobody's mane at all that you put in.
I want
maybe
the Hulk's
Kip Winger.
mustache.
Kip Winger had pretty sick hair.
Anybody else? Rev? Danny? Would you take hair from anybody?
Not a chance.
I thought today asking what's your favorite bagel was the dumbest question asked this morning, but now I think we've trumped that.
I feel like it's a guy-girl question, because I'm with you.
Do you want Billy Joe Armstrong's hair, Danny?
No, I don't. Yeah. No, at all.
I see what you did there, Steve.
What'd I do?
Oh, because I said it's a guy-girl question, so you wouldn't ask Danny if you wanted Billy Joe Armstrong.
Danny, I did not do that.
Yeah, he says that, Danny.
It was just poor timing.
Yeah, sure. Very poor timing. All right. It is time for Listeners on the Loose. Steve says we ask stupid questions. Okay, fine. You ask your questions. You take control of this fine show. 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999. Your calls, your texts at 917 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle is Listeners on the Loose. Brought to you by Car Toys. Listeners on the Loose, where you pick the topic and you guide the show at 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999. Doesn't matter what you want to talk about, man. You pick it, you guide it. But do remember, if you're going to come on this show and you're going to try to run things, well, Cowboy Steve, from back in his younger days, yeah, he ain't going to take it.
That's right. Yeah, show some energy and bring it. Otherwise, we're going to dong you and ask you to mosey on down.
Ooh,
to Gongtown.
Look at that. Mosey on down to Gongtown.
I'm not.
You did pretty good, actually. I really felt like I was back in the Old West.
City folks just don't get it.
I'm trying to get it, buddy, but you're just too authentic for me.
That's right.
Yeah. Oh, man. Listeners on the Loose, you pick the topic, you guide the show. 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999.
We got a couple of texts about this. Are we going to find out why BJ was lost in the sauce today? Another text. Are you guys ever going to talk about why BJ is sad? You talked about it at the beginning of the show. I'm still waiting.
Yeah, it's funny. Two things that are happening right now, one locally and, of course, one nationally, just hit me hard this morning. And I think the combination of the two of them really just got me. I've got a lot of good friends here in town. Recently we had Mitch from Mitch Unfiltered, his new podcast, and, of course, did a great sports morning show here in town for so many years.
Yep.
I got to know him. Saddened me, everything he's gone through as he's now, coming back, putting his life together, putting together a podcast.
Doing a great job with it.
Still tough when people lose their job in the radio industry, and it just happened again to two really good friends of mine, Ron and Don.
Somebody even texted, what WTF happened to Ron and Don's show in Cairo?
Yeah, so their termination, or they're no longer working for the company, really hit me hard, because I've been out of work a lot in this business, and it is the scariest thing in the world, only because of my childhood. And the fact is when you don't have a job, and I grew up in a household where my dad got laid off a lot. Mm-hmm. And even at a young age, the tension, the stress of what am I going to do? Because my dad was a laborer, he didn't have much of an education. So I remember this at a young age. Being out of work was a scary, tough thing.
Oh, I remember my dad had a job forever. Like, he was with this place for about 18 or so years. They let him go, and that was devastating for our family. I was just going into college, and all of a sudden we went from living a comfortable life to, having to get some government assistance and struggle. And, I kept wanting to leave college, and they refused to let me. So, my dad figured out ways to get by just to be able to get me. And that's also, in a weird way, was what made me become more of a leader in college. Like, I just found ways to be able to make money, like becoming an RA, resident assistant, so I don't have to worry about my parents paying for room and board. And then I got scholarships for leadership and things like that. I was like, I got to help them in some way, and they won't let me leave college. But it was a devastating time when my dad lost his job. It was tough for the whole family.
Yeah, and that in itself, of course, what's going on in our country today is that, and we're not a political show, and I have no intention of getting into a political conversation about what is right and what is wrong. The bottom line is that people are not getting paid in our country. That's the bottom line. And so that's the other thing that triggered me, not having a job. People who have done nothing wrong themselves. These are just good people that bust their ass for us all day long as government workers are not getting paid. And it took me back to my childhood of my dad coming home. He's got no money. What are we going to do? And my mom tripping out. And I just go, oh my God, that's happening in families right now because of what's going on in our country. And again, I'm not taking any political sides. You can't ignore the fact that some people are just not getting paid. Mm-hmm. That's just a fact. And then I know Don, who's a really good friend of mine, Ron is too, but Don's got a little boy. And now, so Don's out of a job, and it just took me back to my childhood. And it just, luckily, because of the therapeutic process I've been going through for the last 15 years, I was able to isolate, why am I feeling bad? What is going on? Why am I feeling depressed? I was able to figure it out. In the past, I'd be mad, angry, pissed. I'd probably be screaming at people, but now I understand, this is why. This is stuff from my childhood that's been triggered by stuff that's happening today. It's, but it is really, really sad that Ron and Don, who had a 13-year run in this town doing, afternoons on their radio station, with no explanation. And that's why when texters ask us, it frustrates the hell out of me that even in 2019, where if anybody's got a brain in their head, they know that people want more disclosure. Please be more transparent. If you got to make moves, you got to make changes. Everybody understands things happen. But to say absolutely nothing, that just people wake up and they turn on the radio and whatever they loved is gone and nobody says why?
Sometimes, though, it's hard to. I mean, sometimes you're not allowed to.
Not those guys. I mean, the station itself doesn't offer an explanation.
I was saying, because I know some people will be like, hey, what about you guys in our past situations?
Yeah.
It's like, we're not allowed to.
No, and I get very upset by that.
Sure.
And Ron and Don did put out a statement. They said life is not about what you got. It's what you give, and we're very appreciative to everyone in Ron and Don Nation for giving so much of your time, your energy, and resources. Together, we raised over $11 million for causes in the community we all care about. Now, I'm really going to take you behind the fourth wall here, and Ron and Don did an afternoon show. And as you know, here on KISW, we have a ridiculously successful afternoon show called The Men's Room, and they are all over the country syndicated because they're that good.
Summer gold.
Yeah.
For a limited time. Flowing from the tap into my sky.
And we live here in Seattle, and I don't think we can appreciate it. Really is. We live here in Seattle. We just, we sometimes don't appreciate like the juggernaut that the Men's Room is. They are such an amazing, talented show that everything that they've done. Competitively speaking, I don't think anybody would ever want to have to be on the same time they are. But you know what? Ron and Don were. And sure, the Men's Room are amazingly successful. And you have to take that into account if you put on any darn show in the same time and go, look, you know what? We'll do the best we can. But my God, the Men's Room is just an amazing show.
A powerhouse.
Yeah. Well, Ron and Don, they had a really good show, and they had really good success for what they did, considering that they were on the same time slot as the Men's Room. So I went and talked to my boss and said, hey, what do you think is going on? What is happening? And my boss is scratching his head going, I don't know. Everything I hear about those guys is they're great guys. They did really well, considering they had to go up against the Men's Room. Nobody else did better than they did going up against the Men's Room. And so they raised like all this money for charity. They're good. Mm-hmm. And Don, like me, has been traveling a therapeutic path. So more and more, Don is actually, every time he speaks, he's actually helpful because he's not trying to put noise out there like you'll see some talk shows do. They want you to believe what they believe rather than maybe just help you figure out your own life and find your own answers, which was really what is nice to do for humanity. And that's what therapy is all about anyway. And now that voice is gone. And I listen to the noise that they put on, and I got nothing against the people they put on, but it's just more noise. It's more like, this is my side, this is your side, and that doesn't help anybody. Doesn't help anybody at all. You know what I mean? It's just like, I don't understand it. And there's a lot of people that love those guys that have no explanation. Mm-hmm. And let me just say this, Steve. I'm so happy I work for our company. That's all I got to say. I love our company, and thank God I work for our company because I don't think other companies in our business is as good as our company. That's about as nice as I can say it without being a jerk. I'd like to be more jerky.
Based on conversations we've had with other people in the industry, we are in a very, very fortunate position.
We really, really are. And I wish those guys a lot of luck. They did a lot of great work around here, and that's what made me sad because you know what? You replace people who are good people and you just replace them with noise. We don't need any more noise in this world. We really don't. We really don't, especially when people aren't getting paid. What do we need? More noise? We need to get people paid is what we need, Steve. I mean, that's all I got to say. We got to pay people. We don't need any more noise. All right, it is listeners on the loose, but I'm feeling pretty good. Ever since you were the cowboy, and you're taking pretty. That
Thanks,
made me
partner.
Yeah, you picked up my spirits, partner. You picked the topic. You guide the show. It's listeners on the loose. 206-421-ROCK. You can also text us at 77999. More of your calls, more of your texts at 9:33 on the Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on the Rock, 99.9 KISW.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle. It's listeners on the loose. You pick the topic. You guide the show at 206-421-ROCK. You can also text us at 77999.
Someone texted in saying, hey, can you ask the Rev if he's going to be on Doug Loves Movies panel on Saturday?
All right.
Yeah, I am.
Uh-oh.
Are you supposed to make that announcement? Sometimes let's keep quiet.
He lets me do it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You're like an exception. You're like the grandfather.
Yeah, pretty much.
Claused in.
Yeah. Yeah, the other guests will be a surprise, but I will be doing Doug Loves Movies at 4:20 at the Tacoma Comedy Club on Saturday. Very excited for it. Last time I was at the Tacoma Comedy Club, I won. So,
that's right.
I just really hope Ken Jennings won't be there.
See, I was going to say, I think if we were going to guess on who would be the surprise, or at least one of the surprises, I think Ken Jennings is a safe bet.
You never know with him, but
it is Tacoma. He might be too cool to come to Tacoma.
I think he might be too cool, but I don't know yet. And actually, he's a human robot. He's a computer. I mean, he won millions of dollars on Jeopardy, and when he shows up on stage for that stupid thing, I know I'm going to lose.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you have home field advantages because he's in T-Town. That's your joint.
You give him the Tacoma aroma.
Yeah, I'll bring it.
So that's this Saturday at the Tacoma Comedy Club at 4:20.
Yep, exactly.
Oh, nice. Very, very cool. Look at Rev, man, about town.
That's funny because it's another time, but it's going to be a busy weekend. People want to come hang with us because somebody says, "Hey, Migs, when can I see Bruiser Brody this Saturday as well?" So after you're done watching the Rev later on that night at the Crocodile, we're going to be having our big CD release show for our new record, and we're going to be playing with the great boys in Woodshed. And one of my absolute favorite bands is from New York, and they're going to be coincidentally in time. They were in town, so we worked it out. So we were playing together at the Last International, and they have a new record coming out as well, and they're fantastic. I wrote a blog about it, so you can watch their music video and check it out. But that's this Saturday. Come hang out with us. Plus, Taryn Daly, it's her birthday, and she's going to celebrate her birthday at the Crocodile with us.
Oh, that's cool.
Come hang out with myself and Taryn. I think Ted Smith's going to be there. I think Vicky might be making an appearance. The Rev.
Yeah, I'm trying to, yeah.
If he doesn't get too mad at
yeah, if I nerd rage out, you might not see me.
That could very well be. And also, everybody, if you come to see Vicky, you really just look towards the floor, because a lot of people think Vicky's not there, and she is.
Vicky's the perfect person to go to a show with. You stand behind her, and you can see right over her, no problem.
Yeah.
It's so true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you have a place to put your beer.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Of course.
Just kidding.
What do you mean, just kidding? That's exactly why you bring her.
But it also means we have to get there early so I can get right up front. Otherwise, I can't see anything.
See, that's the beautiful thing, is that if you have somebody as Vicky's height and you go as her consort, you know what? You have to go with her. You can't leave her, let her go alone, and then you get to go right up front too.
It's pretty legit.
Not a bad deal.
So Saturday night, the Crocodile. Come hang out with us.
See Stevie on the drums.
Yes, I'm very excited. It's going to be a really fun show.
Yeah. What's the name of the album again?
Everyone's Dead.
Yeah, Everyone's Dead, baby.
That's right.
That's a good one.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
I got one of those copies.
Somebody has a question, and actually we talked about it a little bit ago, so I'm wondering if you've done your homework, BJ.
All right, it's listeners on the loose.
Someone said, I know BJ has done ayahuasca, and I keep seeing a show called Kentucky Ayahuasca. I was wondering if you were going to watch it from Red.
Yes, Red, actually, I have it on my DVR. I'm going to watch it today.
Oh, okay. It's finally made the queue.
Yeah, it made the queue. So I saw it show up. I think I recorded the latest episode. I don't know if it was last week or whatever, but yeah, I saw it on my queue because I was really busy this weekend. And I'm just catching up with some BJ Shea Geek Nation shows, so I'll be ready for the podcast. But I've got one show to watch, then ayahuasca, which I should be able to fit in today.
On deck today, Kentucky Ayahuasca.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, to see just, how this guy rolls about as a shaman compared to the one that I had in the Amazon.
Right. He's doing it in Kentucky. He's a former prisoner that got arrested for bank robbery. And he, while in prison, learned about it. And one of his old cellmates sent him some ayahuasca. He locked himself into some room, got all messed up on it. And then over time, he's become a shaman.
It is an amazing thing.
Helping people kick drug habits, self-esteem issues, and other things, sex addiction, all through the teaching plant that is ayahuasca.
Yeah, man. And, sometimes you just wonder in life, does big business lie to us and then train us to believe that we can't trust just some of the herbal remedies out there? Science has done a great thing, but then big business takes over and you go, are you lying to us? And,
they're not lying. They never lie.
No, you're right. What am I talking about?
Somebody wants to know if you've ever thought about getting an Oculus. That way you and your wife could watch movies and TV shows together in virtual reality. From Justin in Burlington.
I don't even know how that would work.
You guys, when you just start at the same time, is there some kind of thing? I don't know.
You mean like watch it like in two different places?
Mm-hmm. They have meeting software stuff, so I could imagine that both of you put on your headsets, you go and you sit down and you go into a virtual room where you both would sit down and then watch a virtual TV that could possibly be playing the television show. So it's just like you're there.
That'd be weird. Can you have like a VR version of like your significant other, like he could see his wife right next to him?
If she would log into it and then sit down at her place, you could be on that virtual couch right next to one another.
Oculus Rooms is your personalized home base in VR. Invite your friends over to play tabletop games, watch TV, movies, listen to music, share photos, or jump into other apps together.
I don't even know. What is this? So I will actually see her, or will it be an avatar?
It'll be her avatar, but it's however which way she wants it.
That's good enough. You can make her a green screen woman, so it's like you're in Star Trek.
Ooh. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Dude, you can save all this money on trips and flights.
Yeah. You know something? It's if it was really her, like if it was a hologram version of her that was moving and everything, which would be so much, like the iRobot series that was the book series. I could entertain the idea, but an avatar, I don't know. I don't know. If I'm playing games with avatars, that's one thing. But to sit down and watch a show with an avatar next to me,
can you guys talk then? Like while you're watching the show, you can have conversations?
Oh, well, that's interesting. Yeah,
you can do that.
I guess if you enable that, I guess.
Do they have a mute button in case you're watching something awesome and you don't want them interrupting you?
Yeah.
Probably.
See, I'll tell you this. I don't know. I'd have to see it. I guess I would have to experience it to see how that would be. But my wife and I are... you know what? It's funny. We have very little contact. I talked to her last night. I might talk to her twice a week, maybe get the update, get the scoop. She's not a talker.
Yes, text.
Yeah, we text, but even then, when we text, not much.
More than at least once a day.
Oh, I don't know. Not once a day.
You don't text once a day?
I don't think so.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't even I'm looking at my phone. I think I've texted my wife this morning, probably more than you do in a month.
I mean, maybe once a day, but sometimes it's just to do business, maybe. But on average, no.
Yeah, we've had about 11 messages exchanged this morning.
Oh, I found the Oculus Room.
Vicky's showing me that.
Because you only see like the chest up.
Yeah,
but I'm a butt guy, so that's kind of unfortunate.
Yeah,
I'm a legs and butt guy. This is stupid. I'm not getting it.
I mean, it looks really cool, but I'd rather just watch a TV show and then call my wife and talk to her about it.
Now they're making gloves that you can feel you can feel stuff. So if they do like the whole body
kind
suit,
of stuff,
like,
Rev?
well, I mean,
make a lot of money with
apparently
this.
from the chest up, but on those things. But it would be just like a Ready Player One pretty soon, or like Demolition Man, where you're just going to be putting on a headset and you're having sexy time.
Okay, well, Demolition Man, that looked like a real girl. I mean, that in that one with Rappaport as he had the porn set on. That looked really,
They can be making that happen.
Yeah. Or I don't know if it's Rappaport. I'm thinking of another movie, the Arnold movie there, the 8th day or the 6th day, whatever the hell it was.
Twins.
And twins, yeah, they definitely had holograms and twins, yeah. All right, there's a question that we need to answer. Now that we've answered that question, we need to answer this question. What do Ryan Castle and a garbage can have in common? I'm going to tell you at 9:49 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW. He's the drunk in charge. Now, the Ryan Castle question of the day.
What do Ryan Castle and a garbage can have in common?
I get rolled out to the street corner once per week.
One texter says both get picked up by a truck once a week.
Yeah.
Just once, though, and it's Tuesday, so you can imagine my excitement this morning.
Yeah.
Is today your day?
Today is my day.
But you're back, so it must be the recycling truck.
Today's get rolled out to the street day.
Yeah.
It's a big night for me, Tuesdays.
So here's a question. Since you guys are experts, is it okay to put your dog's poop in a stranger's garbage can?
You know, it's funny. I had this conversation with Miles from the men's room recently. Or no, it was Hair Club, because he got scolded by one of his neighbors for doing that very thing.
Really?
Yeah.
As long as you're picking up the poop, I don't care where you put the poop.
Yeah.
Just start picking up the poop, people in my development.
Yeah.
Right.
Sick of it.
It's in a bag. What's the big deal?
Right. Better question.
Yeah.
Is it inappropriate to sit on your neighbor's bin and just deuce right in it?
Okay, so you know what's coming. You know what's coming next, people. And it's a 12-pack of it, too, with Ryan Castle.
BJ and Migs play of the day.
Yeah, your style is way better. BJ.
Oh, no way, dude. 9 years ago, that was an awesome shirt. That was
No, I remember 9 years ago, and it was not an awesome shirt.
You didn't like that? That was a...
No, I always made fun of you for those shirts. You had all those stupid shirts.
Those Sweet Dragon shirts?
Yeah.
Dude, that was always like the creepy kid in high school that wore those.
They were also very popular in the biker community, Dragonfly shirts. Just so I want to let you know. You guys can call it
BJ
creepy.
the Biker.
Oh, yeah.
The B stands for biker.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. He's here right now and has agreed to answer more of your questions about bankruptcy. How do I figure out who my creditors are?
People a lot of times have had a long time of not having good credit and having collections, and so they're concerned that you may be concerned that you won't be able to find all your creditors if you file bankruptcy. How will I know which collection agency has my credit card bill from 10 years ago now? And that's something that's hard to keep track of because credit collection agencies transfer your debts all over the place. But we will pull all your credit bureaus, and by getting all three of your credit bureaus, we'll be able to tell who has your credit and debt now, which collection agencies have had it in the past, and we'll make sure that we file all your creditors when we file your bankruptcy so that nothing slips through the cracks.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com. Thanks for listening.
I'm Erin Ryan, political commentator, comedy writer, and host of Crooked Media's Hysteria.
And I'm co-host Alyssa Mastromonaco, former White House Deputy Chief of Staff for President Obama.
Each week on Hysteria, we are joined by a team of hilariously opinionated ladies to discuss the headlines from the serious to the absurd.
We cover everything from reproductive rights to rom-coms and break down the political news of the week and cultural stories that affect women's lives.
New episodes of Hysteria drop every Thursday. Listen on Odyssey, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.